the news tonight, Nigerian Navy inaugurates 22 participants into Naval Warfare Course 6 of Naval War College, Nigeria. Whilst Environmental Solution takes empowerment program tag Project Definite to people of Akansoko in Akpabu local government area. Plus, Supreme Court upholds INEC's deregistration of 22 political parties. Details in just a moment. Good evening, it's nice to have you on NTA News at 7. I am Paul Abel. Now the news in details. Combating maritime security challenges such as piracy and crude oil theft is the task put before 22 Naval Warfare Course 6 participants of the Naval War College, Nigeria, inaugurated in Calabar. Achibong Basi reports.
The Naval War College, Nigeria, since its inauguration in May 2017, has recorded tremendous achievements in building the capacity of selected naval officers and their equivalents in sister services at the operational level of maritime and joint warfare by developing critical competences for effective command, managerial, and leadership roles.
A lot of effort has gone into ensuring that the objective of naval war course is met, and on completion of this course, enormous responsibility will be placed on each and every one of you.
The college remains poised towards producing war fighters who can compete effectively with their contemporary globally.
Understanding operational warfare, operational arts in perspective, aimed at explaining the concept of operational arts to facilitate understanding of participants, was delivered by a guest lecturer, Rear Admiral Aliyu Baba Lawal, retired.
The world has now gone cyber, and cyber warfare is the 21st century warfare that does not have respect for geography.
The increasing sophistication of maritime security challenges, such as piracy, armed robbery against ships and crude oil theft, and emerging security challenges such as terrorism, banditry, cultism, and kidnapping, have aggregated to expand the responsibilities of the Nigerian Navy beyond its traditional roles. In Calabar, Achibong Basi, NTA News.
The Inspector General of Police has formally distributed facilities to the rank and files of the Nigerian police nationwide. Francis Boom reports that the distribution was undertaken by the IGP team on behalf of the Inspector General of Police.
This warehouse at the force headquarters and the one in Kuje housing the uniforms, kits, accoutrements, weapons and hospital equipment of the force.
Yes, it has to be in this cool atmosphere.
While this land, besides the force headquarters, houses the recently procured 253 combat and operational vehicles geared towards boosting the fight against crime and criminality.
What we have on ground is good enough for us, at least to make sure we decimate the activities of these men of the other world and criminal elements.
And this symbolic presentation by the IGP's committee on the distribution of procured items to the FCT command signals the commencement of the distribution of uniforms, kits and accoutrements to commands and formations.
On behalf of the IG, we want general public, particularly the media, to monitor distribution in various commands. We don't want, the IGP has warned our quartermasters across board that these items must get to the rank and file.
Force Public Relations Officer urges personnel to reciprocate the gesture as efforts are on to continue to improve the condition of service of all personnel of the Nigeria Police Force across board.
We want them to make sure they use these kits properly. We want to see that policeman on the road or anywhere on duty looking very clean, very neat, very attractive. That's the essence of giving them this kit.
The acting force PRO further assures officers and men of the force of IGP's commitment to sustain the continuous issuance of uniforms to police personnel, as well as to upgrade the operational capability of the force in crime fighting. Frank is from NTA News.
Police personnel are threatening to embark on industrial action with effect from 26 March 2022 for alleged poor remuneration. This report is here presented from our studios.
In an anonymous protest letter via social media, the policemen are demanding 100,000 naira minimum wage as the current salary is not commensurate with the prevailing economic realities. The letter addressed to the Inspector General of Police. The personnel are insisting that they will not accept any pay raised below 100,000 naira. The strike, the junior police officers say is long overdue, is blamed on the inability of police leadership to make government realize the need to upgrade the welfare of personnel. However, the IGP warned the officers not to contemplate industrial action, as such will be considered as mutiny, and assured that the federal government is fine-tuning modalities to upgrade their welfare package.
Still on the security, troops of the 13th Brigade Nigerian Army Calabar have emerged the overall winners of the just concluded 82 Division Inter-Brigade Corporals and Below Competition 2022. Achibong Bazi reports that the exercise aimed at improving team spirit among corporals and below in the division took place at the Brigade Obstacle Ground, Akom Barracks, Calabar.
Formations from 82 Division Garrison Enugu, which include 13 Brigade Calabar, 34 Artillery Brigade Owerri, 14 Brigade Ohafia, and 44 Engineering Brigade, competed, showcasing skills in a series of military and combat exercises. The General Officer commanding 82 Division, Major General Tarid Lagbaja, while commending participants for their doggedness, passion, dexterity, and professionalism, assures the division will continue to pursue training of personnel in order to perfect on current tactics, techniques, and procedures.
This glamorous outing is in no doubt a combination of hard work, discipline, and resourcefulness.
Main features during the competition include drills, weapon handling, cardiovascular fitness test, combat swimming, obstacle crossing, 10-kilometer combat race, map reading, and navigation.
Participants have exhibited passion and dedication, which reflects an appreciable level of preparation and training.
At the end of the 5-day keenly contested exercises, 13 Brigade Nigerian Army Calabar emerged winner, garnering a total of 6 trophies. 14 Brigade Ohafia came second. 44 Engineering Brigade took the third position, while 82 Division Garrison placed fourth, with 34 Artillery Brigade occupying the fifth position. In Calabar, Achibombasi, NTA News.
Poised to alleviate poverty, thereby giving people a new lease of life, the World's Environmental Solutions is taking its empowerment program tagged Project Definite to the people of Akansoko in Akpabio local government area. Correspondent Bernie Achibong reports that presentation of traditional items for commencement were part of activities for the groundbreaking ceremony of the project.
The Project Definite is in line with the state government's effort to alleviate poverty and empower communities in the state as part of activities to kickstart the project. The company led a foundation at Akansoko Clan in Akpabuyo local government area of the state as a symbolic outreach to bridge unemployment, empower the community on entrepreneurship, and enhance public utilities.
It's just a compensation to the community of Akbabu, the municipality. Rwanda has a pipe, a gas line, pass through these different communities to UNICEF. They want supplying gas to them. So it's time to compensate them in terms of buildings, road construction, and the rest of the thing. Simple as that. When the job actually come or start properly, the youth will be engaged. From there, they can get busy. But I know that as the project comes in, we have changes here. Bring over center to the village center.
Indigents of the community and contractors to handle the project speak.
If everything works out well, then this project will help the youth in order to get employed and the elders.
The youth of this community should be happy that they have been chosen to benefit over this project.
My advice for the youth and the community at large is to give us an enabling environment to deliver with speed.
Now, I've always believed, but I believe those who were doubting can now see that it's real.
While Solution Project Definite is an ongoing program to impact on communities and empower the youths. In Calabar, Nta Calabar, Nta News.
We'll take a break now. We'll bring more stories to you immediately after the break. Don't forget that you can watch this newscast on our YouTube channel, YouTube/NTA Calabar. We'll see you immediately after the break. Stay with us. The authority of ECOWAS heads of state and government reaffirmed its decision not to acknowledge taking over of government through any means other than a thorough democratic process. This was during an extraordinary summit of the regional body on the political situation in Mali and other parts of the sub-region. State House correspondent Jide Onivade reports.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo arrived to Accra, Ghana at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon Nigerian time, joins other leaders from West Africa to review progress made by Mali's military junta on the return of the country to democratic rule. The summit receives and considers an updated report from ECOWAS mediator in Mali, former President Goodluck Jonathan, who was in Bamako between March 18 to 20th to meet with the head of the junta.
Once again, a clear indication of your determination to assume your responsibilities for the security of ECOWAS.
The ECOWAS leaders at their last meeting in February reaffirmed their early decision that only democratically elected governments would be recognized and supported in West Africa, and had gone ahead in condemning the military takeover of governments in Mali, Guinea and Burkina Faso, imposing sanctions on the military junta in those countries.
The whole point of democracy is that each person has a right to choose leadership. So a group of people cannot sit somewhere and wake up one morning and take over what should really be the right of every individual. So I think that outrage has been well expressed by the authority of heads of state and government, and by the people of the ECOWAS regions, that we are in a democracy. We are not going to go back. This is the 21st century. We can't keep having adventurers and coupists doing what they please. It's no longer tenable. So that's where we're at.
The leaders are also creating opportunity for more dialogues, for, as they say, it is always better to jojo than to wowo. And quoting former President Olusegun Obasanjo, democracy must be celebrated and embraced, not only for its value, but as a means.
Women have been charged to increase participation in decision-making roles to drive the needed change in the society. Gemini Prioria reports that this is coming on the heels of low women participation in politics and decision-making roles in the society.
Over the years, women have proven to play important roles in managing human and material resources when such opportunities beckon. However, despite their contributions towards development and peace in the society, not many are found in the political space. To change the narrative, resource persons took turns to enlighten women professionals on the need to participate actively in politics, governance and decision-making roles in the society to bring about the needed development and peace.
We have a very big role to play, and that motherly role, that caring role, that role to render selfless service is what we want to bring to bear.
Before you vie for any position, ensure that you have bridged the communication gap. Ensure that there is no deficit in what you need to say, what you should do, and how and when you want to say these things.
Wife of the Bayelsa State Governor, Dr. Gloria Duri, underscored the need for women to reposition, re-strategize, and equip themselves for the tasks ahead. She noted that the clamor for 35% affirmative action by women should spur professional women and make them willing to participate in politics both at the local, state, and national levels.
Time to come out is now. Nothing should hold you back. Come out and play politics along with the men so that there will be no vacuum in the House of Assembly.
Participants at the interactive section comment.
From our educational background, we have something to offer even more than those who have made themselves professional politicians.
They have the ability, they have the passion, they have the creative mentality to change things.
There were questions and answer sections to drive home their points. In Yenegua, Timinopre, Ohia, NTA News.
And now to the judiciary. The Supreme Court has upheld the deregistration of 22 political parties carried out by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. This report is here presented from our studios.
The parties were among the 74 scrapped in 2020 by INEC following their dismal performances in the previous elections. Delivering the judgment, Justice Ejembi Eko voided and set aside a judgment of the Court of Appeal, Abuja Division, which had nullified the deregistration. He held that the court appeal on its own raised the issue of lack of fair hearing in favor of the 22 scrapped parties and arrived at a conclusion without hearing from other parties in the matter. The Apex Court held that the Court of Appeal took out the issue of fair hearing out of contemplations of the notice of appeal filed by the political parties, but refused to do the needful in order to be fair to others in the matter.
And our police in Ogun State is prosecuting 5 suspects on offense of conspiracy to commit felony and murder. Correspondent Lekan Agboni was at the court and filed in this report.
The police charged the defendants and others who are still at large with conspiracy to commit felony, murder, and setting ablaze the corpse of the victim, the Alagodo of Agodo community in Ewekoro local government area, Oba Ayinde Odetola, in his car on Monday, January 24, 2022. The prosecuting counsel, Seidu Yunusa, pleaded with the magistrate court to remand the defendants at the Oba Correctional Center for 60 days, pending the issuance of legal advice from the Ogun Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, DPP, to aid their proper arraignment at the State High Court. The Chief Magistrate, Olajumoke Adedutan, then granted the prayer and subsequently remanded the defendants at the Oba Correctional Center for 60 days to await DPP advice and adjourned the matter to June 17, 2022. In Abeokuta, Lekan Agbonde, NTA News.
A fatal accident has claimed 4 lives in Lagos State. The accident, which occurred on the Constantine Artist of Eko Bridge, Lagos, involved 2 vehicles. One of the vehicles from an opposite direction reportedly swerved lanes while on excess speed and rammed into a Toyota Corolla car from the other lane. The eyewitnesses said that 4 lives were lost, which were occupants of the Toyota Corolla.
The Lexus from the other side of the road to cross to the other side, the right-hand side, and I killed the whole family. 4 of them, no one there alive. We don't know where they're going. They are inside the car.
The Toyota Corolla is reportedly an Uber vehicle. And now to the beautiful and exciting world of sports. Let's now join Olumide Oguntola, who is our guide on sports updates.
The Super Eagles of Nigeria indicated their interest to play in the 2022 World Cup with a goalless draw away to Ghana at the Baba Yara Stadium. The two sides' antics to outsmart each other was futile as both sides couldn't find the back of the net in regulation time.
They played a very, very cautious game, slowed everything down, knowing fully well that the Ghanaians will come fully at them, and this paid off.
The attackers have not played for a long time, and that is why the team seems not to be coherent in front of goal.
Not losing that game yesterday is really a big plus for us, and I believe that when the Ghanaians come down to Nigeria on Tuesday, we should be having what it takes to be able to win that game.
The Super Eagles will have another opportunity on Tuesday to achieve the desired result at the MKO Abiola National Stadium during the second leg of the encounter. In rugby, the Nigerian Rugby Football Federation has considered and adopted its drafted constitution, which is a prerequisite for Nigeria to participate in international competitions at the maiden General Assembly of the Federation held in Benin City, Edo State, with 34 state delegates in attendance.
It was unanimously passed, and we promise to do our utmost best to take rugby to the next level after the lifting of the ban at the World Congress in May.
Back home in Lagos, the 26th edition of the Nigerian University Games will be concluded Saturday at the University of Lagos Sports Center. At the time of filing this report, University of Port Harcourt is leading on the medals table with a total of 99 medals. Meanwhile, the organizers of the games are looking for more robust working relationship with the Nigerian Television Authority (NTA) as they commended the station for a job well done during the games.
I want to thank the NTA for this wonderful support, which cannot be quantified, and that we have received from them. I will continue to partner with NTA.
Still on Nuga Games, the Nigerian Rowing, Canoeing and Sailing Federation has featured the sport as a demonstration sport at the Games with a view to including the game in subsequent edition.
Only what we need to do is to just teach them the technical parts of it, and in no time wasted, Nigeria will be up there.
Athletes from 14 states, including the physically challenged, competed for honors in 7 categories. With sports update, Olumide Oguntola, NTA News.
And on a sad note, taking eternal rest has been described as an absolute necessity for all mortals. But the question is, what happens when someone takes a final bow from planet Earth? The minister in charge, Presbyterian Church of Nigeria, Efut Parish, Calabar, Reverend Ian Ubi, attempts to answer this inevitable question during the funeral service held in honor of late Mrs. Nta Calabar by the church. Ode Aleon tells us more.
Reverend Ubi, while attempting to provide answers to the question, stressed that when someone takes a bow, those who knows you better than you know yourself will write your biography, while others will either celebrate or mock at you. He admonished Christians to have the fear of God while alive to avoid the wrath of God.
It was a question that very difficult for man to answer. Many will celebrate you and are not aware of that. While many will even abuse you and praise God for you dying because peace will reign either in the family or in the society.
Family members and friends eulogized the good quality of late Mrs. Nta Calabar, describing her as a vicious, beautiful, and dutiful mother.
Mother was a good woman. She's a caring woman. For everybody, is a nice woman.
She was a woman of peace. She always made peace at all times.
I will teach my children the good part that my mom taught me right from when I was a child until her death.
The only prayer and the only thing I want to lead from her is to make sure in life I try to build people and to give people the encouragement that they'll make it in life.
Late Mrs. Anna Kanem, whose remains was interred at the Hawkins Cemetery, was born 70 years ago to the family of late Okonudo Osomani and late Mrs. Adia Okon, both of Ikorodo Eno, Ibionibum local government area of Akwa Ibom State. She is survived by 7 children, 10 grandchildren, among whom is Magistrate Arit Edemefion of the State Ministry of Justice in Calabar. Ode Alenyo, NTA News.
And that story brings us to the end of the news tonight. Before we go, a quick look at some of the stories that made headlines. The Nigerian Navy has inaugurated 22 participants into the Naval Warfare Course 6 of the Naval War College, Nigeria. The world's environmental solution has taken its empowerment project, tagged Project Definite, to the people of Akansuku community in Akpabio local government area. We also heard in the news that the Supreme Court is upholding INEC deregistration of political parties. That does it for the news tonight. On behalf of the entire crew, I am Paul Abel. Have a beautiful night rest.